Hey everyone, ready to nail that next job interview?
Oh, yeah?
Whether you're prepping for one right now or just curious about how to really ace these things,
Mm-hmm.
this deep dive is for you.
For sure.
So we're breaking down a podcast episode that's packed with some awesome interview techniques.
It's a good one.
And trust me, you'll walk away feeling like you can totally conquer any interview.
It's all about preparation and strategy.
Absolutely. And speaking of strategy,
Yeah.
this episode really hit hard on how important research is.
Right.
Remember that part where they did the role play and the candidate was so unprepared?
Oh, yeah.
They hadn't even looked up the company.
It was painful to watch.
It was so awkward. Like they were fumbling basic questions about the company. It was painful.
It shows you, though, just how crucial it is.
Yeah.
It really does.
You know, it highlighted this point that research isn't just about you having the right answers ready. It's also about showing you're actually interested.
Exactly.
Like you're saying, hey, I cared enough to look into your company.
You took the time
Yeah.
to understand their culture, their values.
Exactly.
It's huge.
So before you even walk into that interview room,
Mm-hmm.
take some time to really research.
Dig deep.
Don't just glance at their website.
Yeah.
Really go in,
Sure.
look at their projects, what they've been up to.
Yep.
Check out the leadership team.
Mm-hmm.
Even look at their social media to see their vibe.
All of it helps.
Totally. And you know what? I got a pro tip from this episode.
Okay, lay it on me.
Use LinkedIn to look up the people who will be interviewing you.
Oh, that's smart.
Because knowing their background and their experience
Yeah.
can help you make your answers better.
You can tailor them.
Exactly. And you can build a connection.
You're already ahead of the game.
It's like you're showing them you put in the effort to connect on a personal level.
Definitely.
Okay, so speaking of connecting, let's talk about that question we all dread.
Oh, which one?
That, tell me about yourself.
The classic.
It feels so basic, but it trips so many people up.
So true.
It's deceptively simple.
It is, isn't it?
But the episode made a great point.
Yeah.
This is your chance to tell a story.
Oh, I like
A
that.
story that highlights your skills
Mm-hmm.
and experiences
Yeah.
that are relevant to the job.
Makes sense.
So it's like you're painting this picture of yourself as the ideal candidate.
You are the perfect fit.
Yes. And they actually had a great example of this in the episode.
Oh, really?
This person just seamlessly connected their past experiences
Wow.
to the company's goals and mission.
That's impressive.
It was super impactful.
It's all about tailoring that response.
Right.
Think about what makes you unique
Mm-hmm.
and how those strengths match what the company needs.
Yeah. So while you're listening to this,
Yeah.
I want you to brainstorm.
Okay.
What's your tell me about yourself masterpiece?
Love it.
What's your unique story and how does it fit with what this company is all about?
And don't forget, practice makes perfect.
Of course.
The more you practice that answer, the
Yeah.
more natural you'll sound.
Totally.
You don't want to sound like a robot.
No.
Keep it conversational.
Okay, now here's where things get interesting.
Okay.
We've talked about prepping your answers,
Right.
but what about those unspoken signals?
What do you mean?
You know, the fidgeting,
Oh, yeah.
the awkward eye contact.
Body language.
Yeah. Body language can make or break you in an interview.
It really can.
I get so fidgety when I'm nervous.
We've all been there.
But the episode pointed out that even on video calls,
Oh, yeah.
where you
Oh,
think you can hide,
right.
it's still super important.
Nonverbal communication is key.
So confident posture,
Yeah.
eye contact,
Mm.
active listening.
It all matters.
It's like you're sending these silent messages
Yeah.
saying, I'm engaged, I'm confident, I'm here to impress.
You got it.
And you can practice these things just like you practice your answers.
Oh, for sure.
Stand tall, make eye contact with the camera if it's a video call. Use your body language to show you're really listening.
It'll become second nature.
It might feel weird at first,
It might.
but it becomes natural.
It does.
Okay, so we've covered research,
Mhm.
crafting your tell me about yourself story,
Yep.
and mastering those nonverbal cues.
Check.
Feeling prepped,
Boom,
ready to
bitch.
tackle those interview questions?
Not so fast.
What do you mean?
We got to talk about how to handle those curveball questions.
Oh, you mean like the tough ones?
The ones that make you think on your feet.
Oh, yeah, those.
Stay tuned for that. The ones that kind of make you sweat a little.
Oh, you mean like, what's your biggest weakness?
That's a classic.
That one always throws me off.
Yeah.
I never know if I should be super honest or try to spin it.
It's a tough one.
Mm.
But the podcast had a good strategy.
Oh, tell me.
It's about being honest but strategic about it.
Okay.
The key is to frame your weakness as a strength that you're working on.
So instead of saying I'm a terrible procrastinator, you could say, I sometimes struggle with time management, but I'm actively trying to improve my organization skills.
Exactly. And give a real example of what you're doing about it.
Like maybe you're using a time management app.
Yeah.
Or you took a course.
Exactly.
So it's like you're showing them, your weaknesses.
Self-awareness.
And you're doing something about it.
You're proactive.
It shows you want to grow.
And that's something employers love.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about that other tough one?
Which one?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, that's a good one.
I feel like I always aim too high or not high enough.
It's about balance, for sure.
Yeah.
You want to show you're ambitious, but also that your goals fit with the company.
Right.
Think about how what you want can help them in the long run.
So instead of saying, I want to be CEO,
Right.
you could say something like, I'm passionate about this industry, and I see myself in a leadership role where I can help this company innovate and grow.
Perfect. You've shown ambition, but it's connected to the company.
This is so helpful. It's like we're cracking the code of job interviews.
I like that.
But let's be real. Sometimes you just blank on a question.
It happens.
Even with all the prep in the world,
Oh,
it
God.
happens to everyone, right?
Oh, yeah. Even the best of us freeze up sometimes.
It's scary, though.
It is.
Any tips from the podcast on how to handle that gracefully?
The first thing is don't panic.
Easier said than done.
I know.
Yeah.
But take a deep breath and just admit it's happening.
Okay.
You could say something like, that's a great question. Let me think about that for a second.
So it's better to pause than just blurt out something stupid?
Way better.
Okay.
You can also buy yourself some time by repeating the question back.
Oh, that's smart.
It shows you're listening
Yeah.
and that you get what they're asking.
Those are good tactics.
Yeah.
But what if you really don't know the answer?
Mm.
Should you try to fake it or just be honest?
Honesty is always best. But instead of just saying, I don't know,
Yeah.
try to turn it into a learning moment.
Okay.
You could say, I'm not familiar with that specific thing, but I'm eager to learn more about it.
So you're showing them you're willing to learn and grow.
Exactly.
And if it's about a skill you don't have yet,
Right.
you can talk about the skills you do have.
Transferable skills.
Yeah, and how excited you are to take on new things.
That you're adaptable.
It's all about showing you're flexible and eager to learn.
Exactly. Employers love that.
Okay, so we've covered the tough questions, but there's one more thing from the podcast.
Okay.
They talked a lot about following up after the interview.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
I admit I sometimes forget,
It's easy to forget.
but they made a good point about why it matters.
It really does show you're interested.
Okay, so what's the best way to follow up? Handwritten note, email, carrier pigeon.
Email is usually best.
Okay.
It's professional. And here's a tip. Draft a thank you email ahead of time. But leave some space to add details from the interview.
So like if they mentioned a specific project, you can mention that in your email to show you were paying attention.
You were listening and you're interested.
This has been so insightful.
Good.
We've uncovered so many good tips.
I think so.
But before we finish up,
Yeah.
there's one more part of the interview we got to talk about.
What's that?
Asking good questions.
Ah, yes. Turning the tables.
It's your turn to be the interviewer.
It's a chance to shine.
I'll admit sometimes I'm so focused on answering their questions, like I forget to ask my own.
It happens.
But the podcast made it clear this is super important.
It is. It's not just about impressing them.
Right.
It's about getting information for yourself.
So it's a two-way street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're both trying to see if it's a good fit.
Okay, so what kind of questions should we ask at the end?
Ask questions that are relevant and smart.
Okay.
Avoid the generic ones like, what's the company culture like?
Right. You can find that stuff online.
It's exact.
Dive deeper.
Ask about their vision for the future,
Uh-huh.
about the specific role,
Okay.
about the team you'd be working with.
So I could ask, what are the company's top priorities for next year?
Perfect.
Or what are the biggest challenges facing this team?
Those are great.
Okay, cool.
They show you've done your research and you're thinking ahead.
What about questions about my own growth?
Like opportunities for advancement.
Yeah, is it okay to ask about that?
Absolutely. Companies want to see that you're ambitious.
Okay.
They want to know you're thinking long term.
So asking about those things shows you're invested.
Exactly.
This is great.
Good.
I'm already making a list of questions.
I love it.
But there's this one question I always struggle with.
Oh, what is it?
It's that classic closing question.
Which one?
Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, yeah.
What if I really can't think of anything else?
Never say, no, I don't have any questions.
Oh, okay.
It makes you look bad.
Like not interested or prepared.
Yeah.
So what should I do then?
One thing you can do is repeat something they said
Oh, okay.
and ask for more details.
So like You mentioned the company is expanding into new markets. Could you tell me more about that?
Perfect.
That shows I was listening,
Yes. And you're interested.
and it keeps the conversation going.
Naturally.
This deep dive has been so eye-opening.
I'm glad.
We've learned so much.
We have.
I feel like we've given our listeners a real toolkit
I agree.
to help them feel more confident
Definitely.
and successful in their interviews.
For sure.
But before we wrap up,
Yeah.
there's one more thing the podcast talked about.
Okay.
It's about changing your mindset about job interviews.
Interesting. Tell me more.
It's about how we view interviews.
Okay.
What if, instead of being scared of them,
Yeah.
we saw them as opportunities?
I like that.
Opportunities to connect with people, to share our talents,
Right.
to learn about different companies and roles.
That's a whole different perspective.
It takes some of the pressure off, right?
It does.
When you don't see it as this make or break thing,
Yeah, you can be more
you
yourself.
can be more curious instead of just scared.
Exactly.
It's like you become the one in control.
You're not just being judged.
Yeah. You're also deciding if this company is right for you.
I love that.
And when you have that confidence, you're more likely to make a connection with the interviewer.
You come across better.
This has been such an awesome deep dive.
It has.
We've covered so much.
From research to practice to body language.
And asking great questions.
And, of course, mindset.
I feel like we've given our listeners so many tools.
A whole toolbox.
To really nail those interviews.
Hopefully they feel more confident now.
And remember, even if you don't get a particular job,
Right.
every interview helps you learn.
It's a stepping stone.
Exactly. It gets you ready for the next one.
So to everyone out there prepping for their next big interview.
Yeah. Embrace the challenge.
Prepare well.
And be yourself.
Let your talents shine.
Because the right opportunity is out there.
It is.
That's it for this deep dive on job interview success.
Hope you enjoyed it.
We had a blast.
We did.
And if you want even more tips,
Yeah.
check out the original podcast episode that inspired this conversation.
We'll link to it in the show notes.
Until next time, happy interviewing.
Good luck, everyone.